I had one friend who didn't, who was like hinting that she was being like abused by her boyfriend. So me, I saw signs of like her boyfriend calling her all the time and like telling her where she was, and he was just constantly calling her. So I told her if she wanted to come to Maya, so she came actually, and she came with her boyfriend, and they both that day like Laura was going through, she was presenting something like about abusive relationships. I don't know exactly what she was presenting, but I remember that her boyfriend was like, "Oh yeah, I do that, I do that." So I was like, "Wow!" It's like in front of my like face, like seeing that like that was happening. So like just talking to her about Maya and then seeing her in Maya, she actually took the step further to go with her boyfriend and try to change something. So it was really cool.
My name's Emma Cohen.
I'm Rachel Zucker.
My name is Miriam Martinez.
My name is Holly Friedman.
I'm Veronica Zelaya. Amazing young people doing amazing work.
Maya is a nonprofit organization that is part of the Center for Domestic Peace. It is a place where teens of any gender could go and learn about teen dating abuse. We work on projects in our schools and our community to spread awareness for this issue.
Once I realized that I had this ability to kind of help people, I really went running with it and tried to educate as many of my friends as possible and help. I would schedule 10-minute meetings with my friends and just like have quick chats about what's going on, if they were in a relationship, if they want to be in a relationship, just kind of like what to look out for. And a lot of it is just kind of like being there and being like, that doesn't always sound great. Like, he's not letting you hang out with your friends. That seems weird, right? And he's hanging out with his friends and kind of not letting you do your thing. That doesn't sound great. Maybe like talk to them about it, and then they do.
I remember last semester there being a couple, I think they were freshmen. They were arguing and I was like, I don't like how this is looking. So I went up to them, I'm like, hey, what's happening or whatever. And the guy was like, we're just having an argument. It's no big deal. And I was like, okay. But I don't like the way y'all are yelling at each other. And so I stayed there until one of them said something to me. And then the girl was like, I'm okay, thank you. And I'm like, all right. And so I left, but I would keep staring at them. And every time I see them down the hall, I'd always just keep an eye out for whatever's happening.
So for February in Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month, my project was co-directing a play at my school, and I worked with a friend and we directed Emotional Creature by Eve Ensler. So Eve Ensler goes around the world interviewing girls and women about their experiences of being female, and so it addressed topics. It was fictional, but it was based on things that happen, like eating disorders and abusive relationships, genital mutilation, sex slavery. I mean, it had such a wide range of topics, and I learned a lot from the play. I'm really into theater. It was my first time directing a play, so that was a big deal. A lot of people, I know that they learned things from that play by the comments they gave me, so that was cool. There was a freshman boy who came up to me after and said that it totally opened his mind about women's issues, and that meant a lot to me to impact like a young male person. So many adults have come up to me and said thank you for doing this, because when I was your age or when I was a young adult, I was in an abusive relationship and no one was helping me through that, or they said that it wasn't okay to talk about it, and I didn't know that there were resources available for me. So like people have come up to me in tears and just said that, so like I think it's really important.
I also did a project for my government class about teen dating abuse, and we talked to the principal and we interviewed him, and we went over the policies, and it was like policies about bullying, and it was like there's a distinction between like dating abuse and bullying, because dating abuse is more within a one-on-one relationship, and that's not very very supported by teachers, because not a lot of students want to talk about this issue. So they were labeling that as like bullying, which is a different thing. So we talked to him and told him that there was like a difference, and like if he would be able to incorporate that into the policy, and he said that he would try next year to change it. So hopefully that changes.
What's great about the Center for Domestic Peace in Huckleberry and Marin in general, there's a lot of community organizations that work together. So they're getting relationship counseling from Laurel, and they're getting talked to at school from students who are part of Maya, and they're meeting with me to learn about their birth control options, that we really are coming together as a community to help young people feel empowered and be safe and make better choices.
I put out a table with resources at my school and bracelets, and all the bracelets were gone like a couple days later, so people took them. I think a lot of people probably are looking for resources who don't feel safe talking about it, and making that available to them is important.
This is Maya.